All right, Levi, thank you so much for sitting down and chatting with me. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself and Faith at the 50?
Sure. So my name is Levi Merritt. I'm coach here of the B team and president of Barboursville Youth Football. So I'm a local guy. I've been born and raised here in Barboursville, West Virginia. Grew up playing in the same league, Barboursville Youth Football. We were playing at the grass field though, a lot less nicer of a facility as what we have now. But we've been blessed. It was a strong league then, and it is now, as far as good coaches and good people to be around, and good volunteers and a lot of help. But Faith at the 50 is just something that we do on Tuesdays, and we basically very informal. We're not preachers or anything like that by any means, but I felt the kind of calling to do this maybe 3 years ago, and it's really just where the kids get together. We feed them pizza. Actually, Your All's Church has been donating pizza for 2 years now, so it's been awesome. But the kids get together, very informal, and myself or one of the coaches just kind of shares a little bit about the Bible or their faith in particular, and we try to tie it in with football a little bit, like put on the whole armor of God or something like that, but for the most part, it's just sharing your faith and getting these kids who may not be introduced to it at home or have the, because it's definitely not being introduced to them at school for the most parts. So that's kind of that in a nutshell, I guess. But
can you kind of just elaborate a little bit about what actually compelled you all to start it?
Like you just kind of get an urge in your heart sometimes, to do something, and a lot of times when that happens, I normally ignore it or try to say that's just, and then you don't follow it. And I've felt that different way of many times and regretted not doing it. They've taken God and Christianity almost out of anything and everything, and that was one of my biggest things is like these kids, like, they pull out of school, they pull it out of, anything they're involved in. And if we can use our platform to talk about God a little bit in a very informal way, then I think we can do it. So.
What is your goal when you are teaching these kids and meeting them where they're at? Well,
so the goal is, these kids look up to coaches, although we're just normal guys, as you see, but and these young kids, I mean, they look up to it. You're a role model, and so we're very selective about who we let coach with us, and we all stand on the same moral standings. But these guys look up to you, so if you can share with them, like, hey, you don't have to be scared to talk about your faith, and you don't have to be scared to stand up for God and what you believe in. And if we can, my goal, I guess, would be if I could, out of one of those kids who show up for the free pizza, probably, if one of them were to go home or ask me or ask somebody else, like, hey, I want to learn more about this, or I want to learn more about God, or if I can introduce one guy to it, it would be a win.
What are maybe some challenges that you guys have faced starting it up?
Well, the challenge, and I face it myself, is just having the courage. Like, again, I'm not a preacher, or I'm not used to getting up in front of, and even though it's kids, and I'm, and I have no problem, getting out and talking to them about football plays or this and that. But like, it's, you put yourself, you open up yourself a lot when you put your faith out there, and it's a nerve-wracking thing to do because, if you're not used to doing it. And over the years, it's been a great experience not only for the kids, but for myself and, like, my brother and these other guys who helped do it. After it's done, they're almost shaking, but at the same time, like, man, that was great. Like, I think I got more out of that than the kids did.
Yes,
so,
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much
for
sitting down and talking with me. We have just loved hearing about Faith at the 50, and I love the heart behind of just sharing your story and helping these kids have a role model to look up to and to grow in their faith. And at River Ridge, we actually have this thing called the Dollar Club, where once a month we ask everyone to chip in an extra $1, and we go and find somewhere in the community that we can be a blessing to. And just hearing your all story and how you guys provide for these kids with food and just love and just the love of God and sharing that, we actually want to come alongside that and partner with that. And I actually have a check for you today for $3,623.
Holy cow.
That hopefully can go towards pizzas, popsicles, whatever you want, and it can maybe sustain this for a couple more years.
Thank you so much. I mean, like I said, and I told Randy too, like, you guys have been a blessing from the very beginning. Like, it was week 2, and I was starting to get a little worried about how this is going to start adding up cost-wise, and you guys stepped up. And this was unexpected, and honestly, I couldn't thank you from the league and from us all together, thank you so much. I appreciate it. So,
thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.